Hi everyone, I'm Dave Helmin. I am the culinary teacher at Ellington High School. Today I am blessed to have my best friend and co-chef here, Chef Amy White, who is our Latin teacher here at the high school, but a chef extraordinaire nonetheless.
Thank you.
You're very, very welcome. Today we're going to be showing you how to make a salted dark chocolate tart. And a little bit of the inspiration, Amy. And a friend of mine, her name is Dominique, who actually came over to our house with her husband a few weeks ago, brought this. And it is a Barefoot Contessa recipe.
Perfect.
Yeah, and I think that we're going to have a lot of fun making it. Bit into it, I'm like, oh my God, this is like pure heaven.
It's like chocolate on chocolate on chocolate. Perfect for Valentine's Day.
Exactly, exactly. And that's part of the reason why we wanted to do it today, was because of the fact that Valentine's Day is coming up next week. And if you decided that you wanted to make something for your special someone, and if you don't have a special someone, for yourself.
Make it for yourself.
I would do that too, but
Self-care.
married 30 some odd years, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, we're going to get started in a moment. You know, talk a little bit about what you did, you know, besides being a Latin teacher, the chefy kind of things.
Oh, the chefy kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I've been working in restaurants pretty much my whole life since I was 13 years old. Started waiting tables and have worked in a few restaurants over the years, and I'm currently a pastry chef at a restaurant in Manchester that I work in at night. So, you know, desserts is kind of my thing.
This is right up your alley.
Oh, yeah,
What are
for
some of the
sure.
other things that you've made?
Oh gosh, I make lots of cakes, coconut cake, I make creme brulees, I make pot de creme, that's a nice
Ooh,
chocolate
yeah.
dessert. I'm trying to think what
And that's
else.
made with the dark chocolate
Dark
too.
chocolate,
right.
yeah, and a little salt, because the salt brings out the chocolate flavor.
Absolutely, that umami,
yeah, oh,
right?
yeah, so good.
And that's what we're actually using today. We're going to be using 60% cocoa. It's a bittersweet chocolate. I use Ghirardelli. Barefoot Contessa, who's the recipe it comes from, she actually says to use a different chocolate, and I can't remember the name of it, but nonetheless, Ghirardelli I think is the best. San
Yeah,
Francisco
so good.
chocolate is always great. So we're going to start off. Amy is going to work on making our Oreo base, but we also have to add in some butter, and we have to add in some sugar. So Amy, I'm going to have you start going ahead and talking a little bit about the Oreo cookies that we're using.
Okay, yeah, so you see here we have the Oreo thins. We're going to use about half a package, well, 1.5 of sleeves. So I already have these here in the food processor. So it's going to get a little noisy in a second. Just going to come around here. It's locked.
Locked.
Ready to go.
I think locked and
loaded. Here we go.
There we go.
A little more.
Yeah.
All right, what are you doing over there?
So over here, I've just got a little bit of butter that I'm cooking down. We need to melt it so that we can add it to that along with a 1/4 cup of sugar. Mix that well together, and that's going to create the base that we're going to use for our, put it in the bottom of the tin, spread it along the fluted side so that we get this really nice crust going.
Yeah, chocolate crust.
And actually the crust has to then go into the oven for about 10 minutes at 350, and we'll cook that off as well as starting to make the second half with that. All right, so you need a bowl, right?
I do.
You do. So we got a nice stone bowl over here. Can't get it off?
Nope.
Uh-oh. These things are...
Luckily, like the magic of TV, we have some already.
I know.
Oh.
Oh, my goodness. So, oh, wait, there we go. We
There
have
it
to
is.
turn that first. Turn that,
Oh.
and there we go, okay?
See?
Very well. Just watch out for the blade, right? We'll put this over here. Okay, so she's working on that. I've got the butter going right here. We are using regular tabletop sugar. It's not a confectionery sugar, but it is just a regular iodized sugar. We're going to use Maldon later, which is a salt that we're going to actually put on top of the tart when it's actually done.
Perfect.
So with some of those, we might want to break them down just a little bit more. Yeah, we can use our hands. I think that would be fine.
Right.
Okay. And our butter is almost ready. A couple other ingredients we have today. We're going to be using heavy cream in this. We've got some eggs, some vanilla extract, we're going to put in some coffee granules as well, part of to give it that kind of espresso flavor. I thought I had back in the kitchen actually espresso dust that we've used in some other recipes. I couldn't find it. But your instant coffee will work just fine.
Yeah.
And as I said, we would finish it up with the Maldon. So we want to make sure our oven is at 350 degrees, which it is. All right, so we're pretty good there. Actually, go ahead and you can, we already made some of the crust, so we're going to just use that. Press it into our pan.
All right.
And then what I normally do is I just use my thumbs to get up the sides. I think you do the same thing too, right? And make for a nice well that we're going to put the middle part in, which is going to be absolutely amazing. All right. And you know what? I tried this earlier today, and I loved how after whisking the eggs and then adding it to that mixture, how thick it comes up.
Yeah, it's
and
like,
soft. Yeah.
yep, it becomes like almost like pudding.
Right. You know, so what else can I tell you? I think that some of the easiest things that a chef can, or a student that we have that can work well at making this would just be the use of the food processor. It's a great tool to work with, all right? And understanding what takes place when you add the butter and you add the sugar, all right? The butter is going to act as like a coagulating piece that's going to help bind everything together. The recipe actually calls for taking the white part of the Oreo cookie out.
Oh, no, I love it.
No, I love doing it too. Add
that a little bit
more
creaminess,
calories, you're just fine.
So how's that look?
That looks great. But
Okay.
let's see
Little
if we can, yeah, let's see if we can kind of press them up like this.
Okay.
And then go ahead and spread that down. All right. We want to get that kind of
All the way around.
quiche-like crust going on. Yep. By all means.
use a little bit
okay.
more.
Sure. And here's our butter. So actually, I'm going to take this, and we're going to go ahead and turn that off. New product. All right. Add the butter to it. Then we're going to add our sugar to that there. And then I think in your drawer, Aim, you're going to find something to mix all this with. Yep.
Maybe.
Maybe. Top drawer. Kitchen spoon. Oh, no. We're so ill-prepared. I think let's just use a whisk.
There you go.
All right? We're just going to kind of chop it down, mix it all together, like so. And again, we've already done this by what you pressed in there.
Right.
Right? So that's good. But, you know, you never know. If you don't have enough of one, you make more.
Right.
Right?
And if it's a little dry, just add a little more butter.
Yep, absolutely.
Butter makes everything better.
Who said that? Paula Deen.
Yes.
Paula Deen goes, everything's great with butter. Butter. Now, you, interesting enough,
chocolatey.
you have kind of a background in Southern cooking.
I do. I lived in New Orleans for 5 years, and that's where where I learned how to cook
Yeah.
and appreciate food
So what's your
the way I do.
what's your favorite dish from New Orleans?
Probably gumbo, I would think, yeah. I
Yeah.
love gumbo.
Okay.
Got andouille sausage in there and get some shrimp and things.
I've never been to New Orleans.
Oh,
And my
wow.
wife and I were thinking about going during
Okay.
spring break.
Yeah.
I would love to go to Café du Monde.
for beignets.
Yeah, is Brennan still open?
Yes.
It is. That's for the banana,
Foster.
bananas
Yeah,
Foster,
bananas
sure.
Foster was
yeah.
invented.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, some
All right.
great things. in New
So the
Orleans.
goal here was to actually crunch it down like so, and that's what we've pressed into the bottom of the pan. So that's got to go in the oven for about 10 minutes. All right.
Right on the pan, right?
Yep. Right on that pan.
Can I
And
reach
we'll
this
start our
oven?
next part of this.
See if I can reach this oven.
I know it's kind of a crazy thing. Got it?
Barely.
Oh, wow. Okay. Those double ovens. All right. So 10-minute timer. I think we got a timer in the drawer, but we can put the timer on right here. Timer 10, 0, 0, 0. Start. Sure.
All right.
Nope, that didn't work. Yeah, time. Yeah, It would be great if we knew how to work our own equipment, right, Abe? Okay. Well, I think it's on.
It's on?
All right, we'll kind of play with that.
All
All
right.
right, so our next step is to build the middle portion. Okay? And what that's going to require is that we have to heat up some of the cream.
Okay.
And then we're going to add that into the chocolate. So we've got this great big, this I got from Pampered Chef when I was
Yes.
working for Pampered Chef.
We've already measured everything out, so.
Yeah, so I'm just going to wipe down my pan here from some of the butter, although I'm sure it wouldn't mind being in with the cream. All right, and we're going to go ahead and rewarm on our arrange here.
Okay.
All right, well, let's go ahead and put the 1 1/4 cups of heavy cream into that.
Here?
Yep. All right, and we got to get this up to a boil. All right.
Without scorching it.
Without scorching it, yeah. So again, let's grab another whisk, and we'll whisk that. That's a big whisk. Big whisk. So,
Clean as you go.
so yeah, exactly. So anyway, some of the classes that we offer in the Culinary Arts program, Culinary Arts 1 for basic people who are going to learn basic knife skills, terminology, things like that. And then they go on and do baking and pastry arts in their
nice.
sophomore year. So we focus on 3 areas: pies,
Yum.
cakes, and breads.
Nice.
What kind of breads do you make?
Oh, I love making bread. I was making all kinds of breads.
Yeah.
Cheddar sage,
You used to sell
Parmesan
it for,
rosemary.
Did,
Yes,
did
I
you used to sell it in the faculty
Yeah,
lounge?
I was like really into it for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I started working in the restaurant.
Right. So I love Great Harvest Bread Company here in Vernon, right?
Yeah.
Unbelievably good breads, but they don't make hard crusted breads.
No, they're not crusty.
No,
Yeah.
and you
Gotta love, like,
half
a crusty
Italian,
bread.
you got to have the crusty
Yeah,
bread.
I agree.
We've actually purchased 2 Dutch ovens over in room 308, and we've actually been making bread in there.
Yeah,
which
those
comes
are
out
great because
really,
they come out
really
crusty.
good.
The steam stays
Yep.
in the pan. Yeah.
In a couple weeks, the upper level baking class is going to learn how to make crackers from scratch.
Oh, I've never done that.
No, I haven't either. So
Gonna have to
we're
come
gonna
check that out.
try it together. It's a new course that we're really just kind of putting together as we go along, and trying to get all the kinks out of it so that next year it runs really smooth.
Great.
But tomorrow, on the 10th, we
Yeah.
have our first pop-up bakery.
I'm very excited
So
for
it's
this.
all about Valentine's Day.
Yes.
And our hope is that we get a lot of teachers and faculty and staff to come down. We invited Dr. Nickel. We invited some of the board members. We'll see what happens there.
I'll be there.
Yeah. What do you find the hardest thing to bake?
You know what? I took a class on how to make the French macarons, the ones that are the little sandwich cookies, not the ones with the coconut. And they're really hard because they're very fussy.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit too humid and they don't rise or they get sticky and,
Yeah.
you know, I just,
Where did you
I
take
got frustrated easily.
Where did you take the class?
At MCC, actually.
Oh,
yeah, they do a
nice.
lot of cooking classes for, you know, non-credit.
Yep.
Yeah, so you can, you know, when I find a little free time, I head over there and take a class. I took
So-
a bread class there too.
Cool. I have a friend of mine, Joe Melee, is a chef. I worked with him at Master Chef Camp a couple
Oh,
summers
that's
ago.
right.
And he has a website called Pasta More, but he also is like the chef extraordinaire up at the Cook's Shop Plus in West Hartford.
Oh, yeah, I like
and they
that.
do classes there and
Yeah.
whatnot. So every so often he'll post on Facebook as to what he's doing and how it's going. He's doing great. So.
And we can see the steam is rising a little bit
Yeah,
there.
I just don't want it, we're gonna kind of move it around to make sure that we don't have anything getting scorched on the bottom, but we do need to bring it to a boil. That's the important factor here. If you want, let's go ahead and crack those eggs.
Okay.
All right, and then we can go ahead and mix them up. I don't know what we got in the drawer for mixing. Maybe a tablespoon will work well for now. And then we're going to add that to our mixture of our 60% cocoa and our cream as soon as it settles. Because what you want to make sure is that with the heavy cream, once you get it to boil, we're going to pour it over our chocolate, but it has to stand for just about a minute, all right? It is still rising in temperature, so, you know, it's kind of like the word that we talk about is that we have to rest it.
Yep.
Rest it, right. And then once that temperature hits the plateau, then we can do something with it. So I'm looking pretty good. I'm almost there. I can see that the lactose is starting to coagulate a little bit, but it hasn't burned, so we're good there.
Yes.
And
Sort of.
I'm going to go ahead and take that and put our chocolate in here, okay? And then we're gonna pour our cream in, just like so.
Perfect.
Yeah. And we're gonna do this again for the topping, but we're not gonna bring it to a boil, we're just gonna bring it to a simmer. All right, so we gotta actually let this rest for about a minute before we add the egg and the vanilla extract. So, you know, you've been doing this for how many years now?
Pastry chef?
Well, just in general, you know, I mean, including your blogging and all that.
Oh gosh, and I write for a magazine, and it's been about maybe 5 or 6 years, I think. Yeah.
All right. So
I have a column. I have a food column in Seasons magazine.
In Seasons,
yeah.
yes, award-winning.
Oh, thank you.
Award-winning, which is really cool. Have you met any famous chefs?
Not really. Well, I guess I have. I'm sort of friends with Priscilla Martell. She's kind of a Connecticut icon.
Yeah.
I know Van Hurd. He was on Hell's Kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah, which he didn't win, but he was he was fun.
when we were doing MasterChef, we were supposed to have met Ramsay.
Oh.
But we didn't get to do it because of some legal issue of who owned him with regard. Was it the broadcasting company or whatever?
Yeah.
And nonetheless, we got to meet a lot of the MasterChef juniors and the champions.
Oh, and that's
you know,
amazing.
It is.
So young.
13-year-old kids doing some amazing things.
Right.
I wish that, you know, come to my class and show my students what they're doing. But we do have some spectacular students in our program.
Oh, we do.
You know, we've got one who's going off to Culinary, one went off to Culinary Institute last year. I've got a young lady who's going to Johnson Wales this year on a full ride.
That's amazing.
That is amazing
That's
for culinary.
If I could go back.
Yeah. So who would you say your favorite chef is?
Probably Jacques Pepin.
Oh, you know.
It was Anthony Bourdain, but
yeah, we know what happened.
I don't want to talk about him.
Anyway, one of our students' family is friends with Jacques Pepin. And I would love to be able to get Jacques Pepin to come here, kind of like what we did with the cookbook authors.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's make that happen.
I would get charged money. I'd put him in the auditorium.
sure.
You know, and he would just talk in French, and everyone would be like, "Ah."
Yeah, he's
right?
amazing.
He is amazing. So, all right, so we're good here.
All right.
We're gonna go ahead and start whisking this. It was about a minute or so.
You let me know.
Once it starts to get a little thick, which we're starting to see, I don't see that much heat coming off of there. All right, I'm going to keep whisking if you want to just add in the egg.
All right, just slowly. Yeah.
Yeah. I can feel it getting thick here.
Yep. Whoop.
Okay. Nice.
All right.
Okay.
And
So
then
we
the
got that.
vanilla?
We're going to put some vanilla extract in there for flavor. Right.
Boop.
Excellent.
Vanilla goes in everything.
So we're going to go ahead and just whisk that till it's nicely done.
This is for later, right?
Yep, that is for later.
Okay.
All right, that's going to go in with the rest of the cream, the other cacao. And
Oh yeah, look how thick that's.
yeah, look at that.
Good.
I mean, look at that. How nice that is. So that's going to be the middle portion of our tart.
Okay.
All right. We should check to see what's going on over here. It says 9. I think we did 9 hours and 52 minutes. So that would be like 8 minutes. So let's check to see what we got going on, and we'll pull it out. Actually, you got some in one of the drawers. You got some mitts. We'll put this right here. I'll grab it.
Yeah, because I can't reach it.
Oh, that looks good. Okay. So we're going to pull it out, and we got to let this rest too a little bit because it's got to cool down before we put the creme in the middle of it.
Smells good.
But that looks really good. Okay. I don't know if you guys want to get a shot of that. All right. It looks almost exactly how we did it, except it puffs up a little bit to know that it is finished. Okay. That looks good. Okay. We don't need the oven anymore. All right, because everything at this point is resting. So we're going to turn off our oven. There's our cancel button. All right, that's the upper oven. There we go. Perfect. And then we can turn off the timer. Excellent.
Okay.
Okay, so at this point, we have to stop what we're doing because we have to let that rest a little bit and put that on. We can't really make the topping as of yet because that has to cool a little bit in there. And I don't want that to kind of get too thick as we put it on there.
Right.
So, all right. A question that came from the audience here is that would I go on MasterChef again? Well, it wasn't really a MasterChef show. It was a camp for 8 to 15-year-olds.
Oh.
So they were in the classroom 4 out of the 8 hours of the day, and they were making different things. So one week was around the world, making everything from Chinese and Japanese and Spanish dishes,
Right.
Using a lot of good herbs and spices, to making American desserts and things like that. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was up in Kent, Connecticut.
Oh, it's beautiful
right
up
at Kent
there,
School.
too,
It
yeah.
is. And I had a lot of fun. Didn't make a lot of money.
No.
You don't, It's all about education.
Right.
Right? But it was a lot of fun. It was a good experience. They were supposed to come back the following year, and it was COVID.
Oh,
So that kind of threw everything off.
For sure.
And we tried to convince the owners of the camp, who are from Spain,
Mm-hmm.
they actually run it in Spain. They have like 20 camps in Spain,
Oh, wow.
and they're continuously running it. But the really cool thing when it was all said and done,
going to Spain this summer?
I know, I should. I met a young woman who was Spain's Chef of the Year.
Oh, that's neat.
And we keep in touch through Facebook and whatnot. She has her husband, and she has like a 4 or 5-year-old at this point in time. But she still works. I mean, she teaches throughout the year, and then she does Master Chef in the summertime,
Very
which
nice.
is really good. Yeah,
Nice
so that's
little
kind
gig.
of it is. It is. But what else can we can talk about here? What other desserts have you done?
Oh, well, my favorite dessert to make, which is really kind of fun, is pavlova.
We
And
got that tomorrow.
I know, I saw that on the menu list.
Yeah.
It's just meringue, and I just love meringue is so nice and light and fluffy, and it's just egg whites and sugar, and you can do so many things with it. You can add lemon curd, or you can add jam, or you can add colors, you can put berries on it, and it's
We
just
made these
whips up
into
really
hearts.
quick. Yeah, oh my God, I can't wait.
So with a little kind of decorative work, and we're not putting anything on it, it's just the heart itself.
Yeah,
And
love
some of
that.
them broke in the middle, so maybe it's broken heart pavlova. I don't know. But it was really, it was time consuming.
It is.
And I have to give the guys who are running that a lot of credit because, we only have 42 minutes worth of class time. And I had said to them right off the bat, this is going to be a long haul. So you prepare it in the class. You got to come back and check on it. Because with pavlova, it's 250 degrees. It has to go for 90 minutes.
Right.
You got to turn it in the oven,
Right.
switch the top to the bottom, put it in for another half an hour, and then turn the oven off and keep it in for another half an hour.
Yeah, you just leave it in there.
Yeah.
It's
But-
a fussy dessert, but I love it.
Yeah.
It tastes so good.
Yeah. Mine is cheesecake. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Love to do cheesecake.
I do a cheesecake at the restaurant.
Yeah, I do a chocolate caramel pecan
Ooh.
cheesecake.
That sounds dangerous.
It is dangerous. I think one small slice is about 500 calories.
Yeah, we won't talk
Yeah.
about calories.
No, we won't. No, we won't. Okay, so let's do this. We're going to go ahead and pour this on there.
Yeah.
You want to do it?
Sure.
Okay, I'll
We
get
have a
that out of the
spatula
way.
somewhere?
A
sure we
cake
do.
spatula? No, probably not. But you know what? We might have a big rubber spat in there that you could use. If not, the back end of a scoop will work.
Little scoop. One of these, maybe?
Maybe? Yeah, that'll work. Just spread it out. So we're just going to start at the middle here and kind of swirl it around going to the outside. All right. Our idea is to make sure that we get it nice and firm all the way around, not onto the crust, and so that we can still see the crust. And the neat thing is we can actually let this sit off camera and let it just kind of firm up.
Should
All
I
right.
keep going with that?
Well, we have to still put it in the oven for about 19 minutes. I forgot about that. So I got to put the oven back on. All right. Start. It's on. 18 to 20 minutes, because that's got to cook. All right. That's good.
Good.
Okay, I'll put it back in. I almost forgot that this was
Yeah,
in
hot.
the oven. And then we can make the topping.
Okay.
All right. And we're going to show how to make the topping, but we're not going to put the topping on this one, only because we have one already prepared, and we can show everyone the results of it. Okay?
The magic of tea.
The magic of TV. So back in the oven. All right. We're going to put it in for 18 minutes. So at 340, this will come out.
All right.
All right. So our next steps, our last but not least, we're going to again use our small stock pot. We're going to go ahead and warm it up. There we go. We're going to take 1/4 of a cup of cream and put it in there. And all we got to do is just warm it up ever so lightly.
Okay.
And then we are going to go ahead and pour that cream into our chocolate, all right, and finish it with a little bit of espresso.
Okay.
So maybe a pinch or a scotch.
Put it right in?
Yeah, put it right in. What do we call it? What's a pinch, a scotch?
Pinch? Yeah, you know.
A dash?
A dash.
Is there another term we could use?
Nah,
All right.
that much?
Bam. Emerald Lagasse. Bam. Oh, you know, interesting enough, we were talking about chefs. I had an opportunity to see Duff, all right, at the Jorgensen at UConn many, many years ago. And, you know, you were talking about Bourdain earlier. When these guys are out there, they talk potty mouth.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
The
they talk
kitchen,
potty mouth.
yeah.
But I thought it was really cool because he's in the middle of it. Now, he had made a Jonathan dog, you know, the husky dog. He had made it out of cupcakes.
Oh, my gosh.
It was absolutely
That's
beautiful.
cool.
But he's on stage. He's talking about something. All of a sudden, his phone rings. He takes it out of his pocket. He's like, "Hey, how you doing?" In the middle of a concert, he's talking. "Hey, you know what's going on?" He goes, "Vegas? Yeah." He goes, "When? Next Thursday? Great. I'll be there. See you." Boom. Guess who he was talking to?
Who?
Guy Fieri.
Oh, my gosh. They all know each other.
They all know each other. It's a small world,
It
but it's a
is.
big world. If we
Service
only
industry.
could have been at the right place at the right time, like Guy Fieri, we would be doing this on the TV Food Network. All right. Oh, look at that.
We belong.
Where we belong, right. Okay, we're good.
All right.
It already started bubbling.
Steam
So I think maybe we'll use another, like a bigger bowl here.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. So we take the chocolate, put the chocolate in the bowl.
Coffee's in there already.
Coffee is already in. We're going to go ahead and put it in there, and I will give you the opportunity, here we go, to whisk.
All right,
All right?
whisking
And
I
this
am.
is going to be the topping that we're going to put on top of the tart itself. So the tart's got 3 layers. It's got that Oreo cookie layer, then it has the actual tart on the inside, and we finish it with that topping.
It's like a little glaze.
Yeah,
so
that's all.
chocolate, chocolate, and chocolate.
Right, and that should actually roll
That's
right
good.
onto there. It looks a little thick though, doesn't it? That's okay. If we used a rubber spatula, I think that'd come off just fine.
Yeah.
All right, if you
Okay.
want, let's see, we could add a little bit of this to thin it out, right?
Sure.
Okay, let's try that. Put a little bit of this in there, because this is the same thing other than the espresso or the chocolate. So that looks better. Okay. Yeah, much better. Okay? So again, we would spread that on the top of the cake, the tart, once it's done, and then we would finish it with Maldon. All right? I love Maldon salt.
so
all right?
good.
Look at that. This is a French salt. It's got a nice coarseness to it. It just adds, as you said, salt adds that umami flavor. All right? Really enhances it. And it's considered to be a seasoning, all right, not a flavoring.
Right.
Right? A seasoning is going to add flavor, but it's going to add to it, but it's not going to take away from the original flavors. Flavorings, the verse.
Yeah, I think salt does that with almost all foods. That's why you're always going to put salt in things. It just brings out the flavors of everything else
Yeah.
so well.
So-
and this nice big coarse flakes and sparkly.
Is there a New Orleans dish that uses a lot of salt like that?
Oh, there's tons of salt now. All New Orleans dishes. Yeah, they use like the salting, like Cajun seasoning is basically just
Yeah.
hot salt.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. If I could find okra up here, I would love to do a gumbo.
You know what? ShopRite sometimes has it.
They do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, because I think that is what really makes the gumbo.
Yeah, 'cause you need
We're
to
going to be
thicken.
studying about that in Culinary Road Warriors, so we're going to have you come down
sure.
and try some of the food when we get to that region of our
I
country.
will do that. gladly.
Okay, so what we're going to do is bring over our finished product, which is right here. Look at this baby.
Oh my gosh, that's
Okay.
gorgeous.
So to serve that, we actually did put a little bit of the Maldon. Another type of salt that you could use is fleur de sel, and put that on there. And it's done at this point. All right. All we have to do is cook it. Oh, you want me to pick it up? Oh, a little bit more. Move stuff out of the way. Got it. All right.
right.
I'm getting direction from the producer here. All right. There we go. All right.
Look at that.
So.
Right?
You know, we just had
chocolate.
the 8th grade open house, or kind of their walkthrough, and they got an opportunity to see all the teachers. That was during our exam
Yeah.
week, right? And, you know, should we encourage kids to take cooking class? Absolutely. Here's the reason why. At some point, with inflation being the way it is, you know, they're going to spend, you know, I would love them to come to your place and whatnot,
Yeah.
but they're going to spend, you know, $25, $30 a meal out of the house. And if they can learn how to prepare some of these items that are not going to cost that much to actually produce, they can produce the same quality as if they could find in a restaurant.
Right.
Restaurants are designed for, you know, a lot of social activity, a lot of fun, a lot of getting together and whatnot. But they need to learn those basics.
It's an important life skill. I mean,
It is.
You have to eat,
Yeah.
right? We have to eat.
We have to eat.
So there
All
it
right.
is.
So what other cultures of food have you made before?
Oh, I love French food. I love Italian food. I love to make Italian food because I've been to Rome several times, and I took a
Nice.
cooking class in Rome once.
Oh,
So
nice.
That was amazing. Yeah, I love that Mediterranean stuff.
Yeah,
It's good to make.
I think my wife, Michelle, she's 100% Canadian French,
Oh yeah.
would love to be Italian.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
just be Italian because of the fact that all the great food that comes from there.
Oh yeah,
So,
so good.
yeah. In Culinary One, they're going to make their own tomato sauce, one of the mother sauces.
Oh, yeah, great.
So they get to throw anything and everything that they want into it. So that's really good. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We have our salted dark chocolate tart. And we want to thank you for being with us today. We appreciate you being here. We hope that you can do this at home. We're going to try and do a couple other installments throughout the year. But, you know, Amy, thanks for being here. This
Thanks
was
for
a lot of
having
fun.
me. It was great.
Yeah, and we'll definitely do it again. Maybe we can pull in a couple other teachers.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Maybe have a competition against them.
Ooh.
You know, you never
Like
know.
Chopped.
Yes. What can we call it? EHS Chopped?
You know, we have to work the word knight in there somewhere because I think that
We
has
do.
to be a rule.
Well, in French, it's chevalier,
Okay.
right? What would it be in Latin? A knight.
Equites.
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 We
for
can
the
work
knights.
with that.
All right.
We can work with that.
Yeah,
So
we'll figure it
thanks
out.
a lot. Take care, and we will see you soon.
Eat well.